I'm live. Hi, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm live again. Let's play around with this thing to see if I can get it looking a little better. Okay. Okay, that's not what I want, but that's good to know that I can do that. Exit solo layout. All right, did I mute this one? Yes, it is mute. Okay, well, welcome to my pop-up live. The goal today is to finish the block that I started on the live yesterday. And so I will be here working on that. I need to do a little machine wellness check before I continue because something happened while I was sewing yesterday. This happened. These little not bundles, but little loops in the stitching, which makes me feel like something might be up with the bobbin. So I'm going to be doing a little machine investigation today and seeing what's up. Let's see this one. Well, this one looks better, but there's a little bump here, and by the bump is a little loop. I don't know if you can see that little loop right here. So I'm going to be working on that. Why am I doing a live today, you ask? Well, I wanted to record the rest of the sewing of the block on my phone, but my phone is out of storage. It will not store anything on it. It will not store any videos or anything like that. And even if I store the videos on it, when I put them in KineMaster, it will tell me that I have too much on the phone. There's no storage, it cannot upload. So that's why I'm live today. So if you're able to join me, welcome. If you're joining on the replay, welcome to you as well. So I'm going to just remove the bobbin and bobbin looks good. I'm going to do a little wellness check on the machine just to make sure. Hey Denise, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm going to do a little wellness check on this machine and give it a little dusting just to make sure it's not dust that is causing problems. So that's what I'm doing today. So let's get this out. It is pretty dusty in there. And then I'm taking these out. A little spritzing just to make it happy. How are you, Denise? Welcome. Thank you for jumping over. What are you working on today? Jada, may I have napkin, please. So I'm trying to remove the screws here. Thank you, baby. Sorry. Okay. If you're joining me on the live, welcome. Say hi in the chat so that we can welcome you. And watch as I struggle to remove this plate so I can give a little dusting. Okay, so the screws are out. The pressure foot fell off. It's fine. And it is very dusty on there. Let's just give it a little rub. Now I'm removing the plate. And I'm dusting it off. And coming in here and just it's a little dusty in there. Why am I suddenly having issues? Okay. Then he says, I finished cleaning the sewing room and now I'm just taking a break and watching others. Oh, so, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming here. I went to the gym this morning and then came in. Oh, went to the store to mail some packages, went to the UPS store, and then I came in and I was watching some videos, some YouTube videos as well. I believe it's Robin, RS Island, something that I have been watching. And I was watching Donnell before. And now, well, I'm live. And this is an unscheduled live. I just popped in today because my phone is telling me. My phone is telling me that it's full and it will not allow any anything saved on it right now. All right. Now I always struggle to put this part back in. Oh, okay. Anybody has any tips? Is it in? Okay, looks like it's in. All right, now this part. Denise says, I came because you popped up on my watch list. Oh, thank you so much for coming, Denise. I really appreciate it. I appreciate anybody that comes and joins me on my live. Let's see if this needs to be into it. So I'm hearing a little feedback from the phone. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, hopefully that addressed that issue. All right, now I need to put this back in. All right, that's in. And the screws. I just rearranged my room as well little my area, not a room, just a little area, because I had such a hard time with the having the positioning of the phone while I was doing my live yesterday. It was really awkward as I tried to quilt, and so trying to reduce the awkwardness, I turned things around a little bit. Do you have a channel, Denise? Do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, you can drop it in the chat at any time. If you type in exclamation sign selfie, SELFIE, it will give you the option to drop the link in the chat. You're on your phone, so you don't hear any other noises. Okay. Well, great. All right, so now I can put this part back. I think it's in. Let's put the bobbin in. Oh, if it's not in properly, that's going to be a problem. It's not in properly. It's not moving. It's not in properly. Okay, let's go again. So much for things running smoothly, but that's okay. We'll have chaos together. We shall have chaos together, and that's okay. So the bobbin case is not put in properly. And I should have checked before I put all the things back on. And 1 and 2, I should have paid attention before I took it out. I should have paid attention. No channel yet, just a watcher. Okay. Well, if you ever start a channel, just let us know, and we'll support you. But my goal today, if I ever get this thing sorted, is to finish this block that I started on my live stream yesterday. This block. Can I put it so it's on both screens? Arrow crown. I cut it on the live stream yesterday and started sewing. And it was just too complex for me to sew and chat and do everything else. So I did not finish the block, and I wanted to finish it on camera. Okay. So, this thing is incredibly difficult to do. Or maybe I'm nervous. Respira. Breathe. Here we go. Have to woman handle it a bit. The cutting thing. It's supposed to be on the other side of this. There's an arrow there, which makes me feel like it should be there. Nope. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we can. Oh yes, we can. Keep thinking this is it, but then, okay. It's like that, is it? All right, let's put the metal plate in. All right, note to self, don't do these things on a live. Okay, that looks like it's good now. All right, then he says, oh, hi, Teresa. I am in Durham, North Carolina. Welcome. Then he says, I think the sewing room elves play on our machines and with our supplies during the night. Then when we come into play, we have to fix their problems before we can get started. That reminds me of the brownie story. In the brownie story, there are two little elves. The mother talks about the elves that come in and or the brownies that come in and help with housework. So I'm hoping that these little fairies, they're not mischievous and naughty. Hopefully they're making things better and not making things worse. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to attempt to put this in again. Should fit in there. All right. I'm going to tighten the screws. Teresa says, my mom lives in Durham. In the Crossdale area. Okay, that's very nice. And where are you? Where are you, Teresa? I'm hoping the naughty fairies were not naughty. This screw here is in a very awkward position. And this little screwdriver is also very awkward to manipulate. I do have some other little screwdrivers, but no idea where they are right now. So we're just gonna have to work with this. All right. You're in the Rocky Mount area, okay. Sorry. I'm in the Rocky Mount area. I think we met at QuiltCon last year. We probably did. I met a lot of people at QuiltCon last year. And there was one person that I was hoping to meet, and she was literally in the room that I was in. And can you believe I never met her? I didn't know she was in the room. We were in the same place where all of the YouTube people went. And she was there. I was there. She was talking to Goody Goods. I can't remember her name. Is it Lisa? I'm not sure. She was talking to her. I was talking to Sean, the guy who sews, and Ian. I was standing beside Sew Becca And I met the Yvette Renee, and we'd never met. She and I never met. Beth from Goody Goods, yes. And her name starts with a G. I can't remember her name right now, but the point is we were both there in the same spot and we never met. Now, for some reason, I can't remember how to put this thing back in. Okay, I think this is got it. All right, I think that's it. I'm going to give a test run on the stitching, and then I should be able to continue sewing. So, yep. All right, here is a piece of scrap. So, all right, let's see how that goes. So Teresa, were you up there? I was the one that had my girls with me. Okay, yes, I remember. Yes. So yeah, I'm terrible with names and I'm terrible with faces. I tell my students that if they're lucky by the end of the year, I will remember their names. So they should give me some grace. But yeah. So are you going to QuiltCon next year when it comes to Raleigh? That's my plan, to go to QuiltCon next year. And hopefully, you know, meet some new faces. I want to. You remember my accent, okay? The one lone Jamaican in the house. Yes. Denise, where are you located? What state are you in? If you're in the States, or what country? What country are you in? Let me bring the chat up on this. I think it will be easier for me to read. Okay, I see. Okay. Denise says, I want to. She says, I remember your accent. I want to. I told my daughter we will have to make some plans. Yes. Yeah. I am. These blocks are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And at this point, I just want to get this block sewn. I took a friend with me last year when I went, and I called her my social emotional support human, because I am very, very much an introvert and I don't like crowds. And so going there was quite a challenge for me. Now, can you tell me why this block sticks out like this? I have no idea. I'm going to cut it off and hope for the best. Here you go. Okay, so I'm going to show the different parts of the block. And then I'm going to continue. And there's a piece missing. There would have to be a piece missing. It wouldn't be Janice's world if there wasn't a piece missing. All right, let's show you the pieces. So this is the center of the block. And then we have the cornerstones. And I'm making the sashing, so to speak, which looks like this. And I'm missing a piece, which is unfortunate because without it, I cannot finish the block. And I know I had it. 1, 2, 3. Don't know where it is. Okay, I'm gonna check this back over the bucket to see if I threw it in here. An error. Okay, I see these two. I see these. No, it's not in here. This is hilarious. For some reason, I cannot find the thing. Hopefully, I didn't throw it in the trash. Okay, I have blocks like that sometimes. Okay. Teresa says, I worry about Durham because it's always in the news. Teresa, before I moved to Durham, I was living in Fayetteville, and we always heard about Durham in the news. It was just a constant, like every day there would be something about Durham in the news. And when it was clear that this was where we were moving to, we were like, oh boy. But to be honest, it hasn't been that bad. It really hasn't been that bad. It has been okay. We're safe. We feel safe where we are. And really there's nothing much. There are a few pockets I understand where everything happens, but where we are, we're safe. We're okay. And Denise says, I live in the northeast corner of Illinois, about 5 miles south of the Wisconsin border. Teresa says, I have blocks like that sometimes. It's all very nice. You have something behind the sewing machine. I'm looking behind the sewing machine. I have a sewing mat here. This is a sewing mat that I made from a Dollar Tree, one of those Dollar Tree mats, and I did quilt as you go on the top of it. So that's what this is. I am going to check the trash because I just emptied my trash vase. So I'm going to check the trash. Give me a second. Talk among yourselves. I found it. It wasn't in the trash. It was not in the trash. It was under the foot of my chair. So, all right. So apparently I have highlighted. Okay. So Teresa says you have something behind this. Thank you. Right angles. Hey, Mr. Right Angles. Thanks for joining. Teresa says Fayetteville is bad on the news also. Just the place I choose to work. It must be part of that. Okay. Yes. So, all right. So I found it. I believe. I hope. All right, slow down, take a deep breath. And all right, I'm going to sew these two pieces together. And they should nest. And then, yes, they do nest because this pattern doesn't give pressing instructions. So I have to be figuring it out as I go. I also like to pin when I'm sewing two flanges together. I like to pin in the middle there just to keep the points together, just like kind of like when I'm doing FPP. So I try to make sure that the pin goes in at the point of both blocks to hold them together. And then I sew. This machine does not like bulky seams, so we shall see how it sews. This machine is a Brother CS7205. It was a gift from a YouTube friend. I don't know who the YouTube friend is, but it was given to me when my other machine died while I was sewing on a live. It kind of gave up the ghost. I love this machine. It has a few more bells and whistles than the Brother that I had before. The only thing is the throat space is really small. You can see it right here, the throat space is really small. So that's the only challenge with this machine. And it doesn't like bulky seams, but the other Brother did not like bulky seams either. So I have to kind of coax it a little bit. To get those seams sewn. Okay, so I'm going to press these. I'm going to press these again. And try to make them as flat as possible because I think our little fairy came in here last night and folded them. So they're not very flat, and I probably should use the paper. I'm going to tell you about this clapper. This clapper was made by a friend of mine who her husband does woodwork. So I walked into her sewing room and she had this lovely piece of wood and that was her clapper. And I was like, hey, I want one of those. And she said, if I'm nice, her husband would make one for me. So he made one for me. Hopefully I was nice enough. Teresa said, so I pin all, I think she said before it happens. It must be a part of that. If I don't pin anything, I mess up. So I pin all. I also pin sometimes too many pins. Sometimes too many pins. I also press when I'm done with a seam or I get crooked blocks. Yes, I pin. I like to pin too because I get the seams to sew together a lot better when I pin. So I am a pinner as well. So I get that completely. And I also press after I sew, usually it depends. Sometimes I press, sometimes I don't press, because sometimes I just want to sew, and sometimes pressing just gets in the way of me wanting to sew. So I'm here, I'm off camera a little bit, but I'm pressing these blocks. I did press them yesterday, but again, the seams are very bulky. So I am pressing them again, just so that they can lay as flat as possible. And of course, I've taken out my handy dandy clapper. I don't think I've used this clapper all year. I don't think I've used it all year, but I'm using it now. And it is helping my seams to lay a lot flatter. Yeah, so here we go. How long have you been quilting? Tell me about your quilting journey. If you are in fact a quilter, or if you sew other things or craft in other ways, how long have you been doing that? I started quilting just before COVID. I had always wanted a machine because I grew up around machines, and so I finally got the machine in 2019, and then I realized that, okay, now I have the machine, what am I going to sew? I really don't know how to sew. I'm just cutting off a dog ear. So I went on YouTube University, and I saw some quilting videos, and that's where I started quilting. So I started quilting in 2019, and of course COVID hit after that, and so it was great to have that hobby, to be able to quilt while we were on lockdown and we were at home and nobody knew what was going on. So it was really great to have that hobby to occupy my time. And that year I got a lot of quilting done. I made quilted gifts for friends and family. And yeah, I've been a quilt addict ever since. So. Hello, Miss Pajama Quilter Kimberly. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us today. I've been quilting since August of 1995. Whoa. That's a long time. I'm pressing this last seam before I continue sewing. I really am pressing. It might look like I'm not, but I am. Whew. All right, so if you're just joining me, this is the block I started working on my live yesterday. This is the block. This is the center part, the center of the block. These are the cornerstones. And I have I guess you would call it the sashing here. So I'm going to go ahead, and some of my blocks are a little bit, some of my pieces are a little bit wonky, but I am not looking for perfection. So if you are looking for perfection, you are in the wrong place. Unfortunately, that's not what we do here. We don't do perfection. Perfect is boring. So, all right, so it goes like this. I'm just gonna Okay. So this block does not give pressing instructions. So just making sure I have them turned the right way. And then okay, so the black goes in. Ooh, it's gonna really be nice. We'll just have to overlook the imperfections. Now I'm going to have to manipulate these seams so that they nest, because the seams are really bulky. So we're starting here. All right, that's one. I'm gonna do this one. These nest, so that's lovely. So I'm pinning. Okay, so I'm going to exit full screen because I can't see the chat well. Okay, so I want to see the chat. So everyone is saying hi. Teresa says, I am an EMT and messed up my shoulders in 2019 and 2020. Was that because of the pandemic? Teresa, I'm so sorry to hear that. So I can't work anymore. I'm so sorry to hear that. So in 2020, I started making masks to have something to do. And when they stopped using them, I started making quilts. Okay, very nice. I think quilting is so therapeutic. And that's why I try not to make it so strict, like you have to do this or you have to do that, because then it wouldn't be therapeutic. It would just become stressful. So I try to keep it, light. And okay, if it gets messed up a bit, if the seams don't match, if the points don't match, if they're, as long as they're in the vicinity, I'm good with them being in the vicinity. So Kimberly says, Teresa, I made the mass and small lap wheelchair quilts during the pandemic, helped to pass the time and feel good doing something for others. So sorry about your shoulders. And Denise is saying hello. If you, Teresa says, I lifted 450 pounds every day and it finally got, wow, finally got to my body. That's a lot. My friend is a nurse and she has to lift a lot of, heavy weights. And recently, she's been saying her back has been hurting. And so, respect, maximum respect, as we say in Jamaica, to everyone in the medical field. You guys are truly heroes. I've had a few surgeries, and those nurses, God bless the work that they do, because I don't think I could do it. So that's all I'll say about that. So, all right, I'm going to sew the seams on this side, then I'm going to press, and then I'm going to make the final two. Sew the final two seams, and then we'll have the big reveal. See how it looks. Hydraulic stretcher every day. Is that the one that the hydraulic stretcher? Is that the one that they used to lift like people who are in wheelchairs and stuff like that, Teresa? £450. Wow. That's a lot. Teresa says, I do medical transport, so yes, my patients were immobile. Denise says, I can see where that would affect your body and having to lift people to the gurney or assist them to it. Yes. Yes. Has anyone here ever entered a quilt in QuiltCon? Has anyone ever entered a quilt in QuiltCon or any other quilt show? Can you tell us your thoughts on it? How was the experience? Denise says, I used to watch Night Watch Live when it was on TV. Oh, these nest. That's something. Okay. Oops, I missed the pin on this seam. I have never entered a quilt in QuiltCon or any big show, but you are told you need to. Well, you know what? I think it is a choice. If you feel like you want to, then you should go for it. If you don't, that's okay. I entered quilts in my virtual quilt guild. Well, it's not my Quilt Guild. It's run by Sean, the guy who sews. We have a virtual quilt guild, and we meet once a month through Discord. And that's what this block of the month is for. This block of the month is from the Quilt Guild. And we had a little quilt show, a virtual quilt show, and I entered several quilts, and some of them won by default because nobody else entered in those categories. And then some of them, won. But it's very informal. It was a very informal quilt show, but a really good experience. But my quilts, I think, are too imperfect to enter in anything bigger than that. Okay. Kimberly says, I have had mine in some small local events, but that was a long time ago. Then he says, no, I'm not that good. I'm not that good enough to do it. And okay, I'll check my email. Thank you. If you have a channel, you feel free to put the link in the chat by typing in exclamation. Did I change it? Hold on. I said I was going to change it to channel so it would be easier. But I don't think I changed it, but if I did, I will let you know in a moment. Okay, it's still exclamation sign selfie. And also, if you want to give yourself a nice welcome, then you can put in exclamation sign welcome. Teresa says, I love to watch Sean and have asked him questions, and he's great about answering them. Yes, absolutely. So Sean and I met virtually, of course, through one of his YouTube friends. Can't remember her name, but I am subscribed to her channel. It will come back to me. And Sean reached out to me and asked me if I would like to join him on his live. And I joined him on his live. I've been on his live a couple of times. I've been on his trunk show twice. And I'm a part of the guild. And Sean is really very, very helpful. He helped me to set up Nightbot. He helped me to start, and then Mona from Mona Did What also helped me to get some commands in. And yeah, so that's how I am a fan of Sean's as well. So I'm going to press these and I'll be right back. Let me just check my email. Checking to see the email because I'm curious. Okay, I got your email. And I will respond. Thank you so much. I will definitely respond. Denny said, just subscribe to your channel, Kimberly. Awesome. All right, let me go press these and I'll be back. Well, I'm not gone anywhere. I'm just a little bit off screen. So let's see. I'm going to press these opposite from that so they can nest. There are lots of seams on this one, guys. I'm gonna do this one like that as well. Lots of seams. I actually do not like pressing. I just don't. It is a pain. I don't like pressing at all. Even when I'm purchasing clothing, I'm like, if it needs to be pressed, I might not watch. Teresa says all the pretty blocks have a lot of seams most of the time. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. All right, so this is the bottom section. This is the top. And here is the middle. So now I'm going to sew them together, and I'm hoping it doesn't really matter if I put the blocks in the right or wrong place, to be honest. But here's hoping that I did. I feel like, anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. Hopefully most of the seams nest, but the main ones should nest, so yeah. A lot of seams, yes. And not all of them nest. So I'm just going to manipulate some of them a little bit, because as the pattern doesn't have any pressing instructions, and I don't think I have the bandwidth, probably is what I should say, to sit down and work out the pressing to make all the seams nest, especially in this block with so many little pieces. And so many seams. This is another bad habit that I got from my mom, with putting the needle in my mouth. My mom was a seamstress. She's still alive. She's very talented, but she doesn't do much sewing anymore. But she taught me how to crochet, how to knit, how to embroider, how to do macrame. But I just refused to learn to sew from her. So unfortunately, I learned from YouTube University. But when I started sewing, I realized that I did have some of her habits, some of them bad, some of them good. So, and the funny thing about it is I was so annoyed when my daughter went to YouTube to learn how to crochet instead of coming to me. Because when I tried to teach her, she didn't want to learn. And then she went to YouTube University and learned how to crochet. I was like, really? But I did the very same thing. Teresa says, when I have that many pieces, I usually open my seams. It just seems easier. No pun intended. Opening my seams is not something that I have done much. The only time I've really opened my seams is when I've done FPP. Other than that, I've just never done it because I wasn't taught that. I didn't learn that way, and I've not, tried to open the seams. Just a few more inches to go. And we are, what? No, we're not done. What am I saying? I started celebrating too early. I just sewn the top. I just sewn the top. I need to sew the bottom. So, and my goodness, this seam is so, it's so, should try to trim it a little bit. I don't know if this block is going to make it to the 12.5 inches because I don't know. We'll see. Teresa says, I want to do the 4-patch plus quilt by Tiffany, and they're so small. I started opening the seams so they would overlap. Yes, I get that. I get that as well. I did the Tree of Life block, and it had so many half square triangles. There were 32 half square triangles in that block. And I was squaring up those half square triangles. That was not for me. That was not for me at all. All right, so I'm gonna try to get the seams nested as much as possible. Most of them nest, it's just a few that don't, which is just luck, to be honest, because, yeah, what I said before. I can't believe an hour has passed. Wow, the time goes by so fast. Okay, I'm sewing the last seam on the block, and then I'm going to square it up. I'm going to press it, square it up, and then I will be done. I really appreciate you guys for joining me today on my live. I normally do a live every other Friday. I think that's what I decided on because it's just difficult to do a live every week for me. But I wanted to record the making of this block, and my phone is out of storage. So I decided to just come live so I could complete the block. See if we can preserve this. I decided to just come live to finish the block. And I may have to do some more lives because my phone is out of storage and I have literally deleted everything from it that I can. So until I'm able to purchase additional storage, I may have to just do live. I want to do videos. So this is not a planned live, it's an impromptu live. So I'm really grateful for you for stopping by. I know lots of other, probably more talented content creators do lives today. And you chose to come and hang out with me. So here is the block. I think it's mostly accurate. I'm going to sew the seams. So many seams. Yes, yes. I'm trying to sew this one open, seeing if I can get the hang of it. And maybe it will lay a little bit flatter. I don't know. I don't know, man. I give up. I give up. I'm sorry. This side, one side of it opened very nicely, but the other side, too much bulk. I can't even open the seams with my finger. I'm trying though. Do not give up. Kimberly, what is your live schedule? When do you go live? Because I've just like happened upon your channel by accident sometimes, and I have it playing on the television. Sometimes I'll comment. Sometimes I don't. But what is your live schedule? Trying not to burn. Quilt. Trying to be a good girl and opening the seams. Just for the two seams I sewed just now. Those are the only ones I'm opening. I think I'm done. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Denise. Sorry the delay. I'm working too. Teresa says, are you making a whole quilt with that block, or are there other blocks you're adding? All right. So each week we choose 2 blocks. One that is a simple block and one that is a more complex block. I had to choose the complex one and I had to make it on a live. I don't know. Right now, this is my 8th block. I believe I'll show you the others in a minute. And then when I get to 12, I think, or 15, I'll put them all together to make a quilt. Denise says, thank you for the visit. Supper is ready. We'll catch up with the replay. Thanks so much, Denise. I'm almost done anyway, but thank you. Thank you so much. Teresa says, very nice. Teresa says she's better than me. I couldn't do a YouTube video. Yes, you can. If I can do it, anyone can. Kimberly says tomorrow night at 7 Eastern Standard Time. And she says, I try to do every Sunday, but sometimes life gets in the way. Yes, I can understand that. All right, I'm going to do one final press on the right side, and then I'm going to show you what the the block looks like. So it's the odd Saturday that I am free, and I was like, what's happening? How come I'm free? All right, so here is the block. I am going to make myself solo layout. So this is the block. Finally done. All right, so there are, I believe I have 8. This is the 8th block. I have them all in this container. Let's see if I can show them. They're all in black and white and shades and tints. So this is the first block. And this one. Then this one. And so that's it. 8 blocks. This is block number 8. And we do one every month. Tomorrow is our next meeting. And so that's where we're at. I keep them in this bucket here. All my black and white and gray fabric pieces are in here. And so those are the blocks that I have done so far. Oh, oops. Okay, my battery's going. Battery's going. Woo! All right, I'm going to duck under the table to plug this in. And don't die. Okay. Exit. Oh. Okay. The top is backwards on the new quilt, on the new block. No. What? What? That is entirely too funny. Gorgeous, thank you. You have been busy. Check the top row of the new one. Yes, this one. This row is backwards. Ah, man. Why did you have to end up upside down? I'm going to have to fix that one. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes, I have been busy. This year, I'm not buying any fabric. That's what I've told myself. I'm fasting from buying fabric. So I'm going to be working on my stash, using my stash. Bring out Jack. No. No. I will not. I will not. So I'm going to be working through my stash. I'm doing a few sew alongs. So I have my personal block of the month where I'm doing blocks from my book, this book. And last night on my live, we chose this block. This is the Greek cross. So we chose the Greek cross, and we're going to be doing, I'm doing it in red, white, and blue using, I showed the fabric last night. I'm going to be using these. So that's my personal block of the month that I'm going to be doing. I have done one block already. You just bought the 1,000 blocks book. So this is the block I made last week. And so the next one will be the one I showed you. And then I'm doing the, what is this one called? I'm doing the cotton cuts flyway. And I'm doing the RBD block challenge. So I have the first pattern, which I have not started on yet. That's the first pattern. So I'm going to, those are the four. So I'm going to be doing the Quilt Guild block of the month, my personal block of the week, or block of the live. And then I'm going to be doing the Cotton Cuts Flyway, and I'm going to be doing the RBD block of the week. So yeah, everyone loves that blue. Yes, it is pretty. It is very pretty. I actually got the fabric from Soya. They had what you may call it now. They had like a mystery bag of patriotic fabric, and I got so many yards of that from them. So yeah. So I have a lot of the red, white, and the creamish color, and so I'm going to use it to make that quilt. And of course, I'm going to be working on my donation quilts. I make donation quilts that I send to WakeMed Hospital, and I'm also a cuddler at WakeMed Hospital. So on a Sunday evening, a Sunday night, not every week I go to cuddle. I'm not going this week. You can't win with Sean Strong shows if you don't fix it. I'm I'm going to fix it. I am going to fix it. Even though it makes me sad, I am going to fix it. I just might not fix it on the live. So yeah. I've already started. They had an end of bolt sale a little while ago. Teresa, I had to stop going on Soya's live sales because I was forgetting that I'm on a budget. I'd go there and I'd see all the pretty things and I would have to buy them. So I stopped going on their website, but now I'm going on Lynn with Soft Square's website, and I said to her, please show only the ugly stuff so I won't be tempted to buy. Hi, Nikki B. Thanks so much for joining us today. I am just about to end the live, but I finished the block I started last night on the live, and guess what? I put this row on upside down. So I'm now having to pick it out with Mr. Jack. And yeah, I'm not too happy about this, but it has to be done. Yeah. So here we go. I recently, oh yes, I make, as I said before, I make quilts to give away, and I have two here. This is one. This is one. And the other one, I need to quilt. And this is the other one. I need to quilt this one. And then I have, this is the one I did. This was English paper piecing that I did while on vacation in Jamaica this Christmas. And I need to finish this one. I'm going to hand quilt this one. So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be working on this year. Teresa, yes, absolutely. Teresa says maybe one day I come to Durham, we can meet. That would be nice. My hubby goes to the VA hospital for his doctor appointments and I go see my mom. That would be lovely. Wow, thank you. Beautiful quilts. Thank you. I love your bright colors. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Deb. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? This is a surprise live. because my phone is out of storage and I wanted to finish the block that I started. Here it is. Unfortunately, I sewed this row on upside down, so I now have to pick it out. What pattern will you do on your EPP, or have you decided yet? I have not decided yet. I really don't know. I purchased these quilting rulers from Temu. I don't know the quality of them. Let's see if I can find them. Oh yeah. I purchased these quilting rulers from Temu. And I'm thinking that I could use them to do hand quilting. I don't know how it will work with machine quilting. But there is this one. Let's see if I can put it up. There's this one. Hopefully you can see it. This one, and this one. So I'm thinking that I can just mark the quilt with a pencil or something, and then and hand quilt it that way. I also want to start practicing some quilting on this machine, the 1591, because it has a much bigger throat space than the brother. And yeah, it shows up on your, you need to put your first name on your channel name. Lol. You need to P. Who is that? What is that? Did I miss something? Those are fun patterns. Put not P. You need to put your first name on your channel name. Are you talking to me, or are you talking to somebody else in the chat? Put not P. Pajama quilter. Okay, yes. Her name is Kimberly. Yes. So I'm picking this unfortunate row off. My name is Janice. Pajama quilter is Kimberly. If you say Janice, it doesn't really matter to me. That's the American pronunciation. But in the Caribbean, we say Janice. So, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind if you say Janice or Janice. I will answer to both. I'm not particular. So yeah. It's not nice using the seam ripper with all these seams. But I'm not complaining. Okay, here we go. All right, so what are you sewing, Deb? What are you working on? How is Millie's dresses coming along? That pronunciation sounds lovely. Thank you. You know, we were colonized by British, so we use we have a lot of British retentions, and so the way we spell, the way we pronounce words, and so on, it has the British. We're influenced a lot by the British in those regards. America was also colonized by the British, but America, they like to do things. You guys like to do things your own way. No offense meant. I'm thinking Dixie Quilters is Marlene. I quilted half a quilt and to use the seam rip and take it all out. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Almost done with 4 more dresses. Nice. Deb, you can call me Kimberly, never Kim. PJQ, pajama quilter, or I suppose, hey, you, if necessary. LOL. All right, since I'm still here and I've finished ripping the seam, I'm just going to press and talk among yourselves, children. Turn and talk. That's what we say in the classroom. Turn and talk. All right. Now to pin and sew. Hey, son. May I have a glass of water, please? With lots of ice. Yes, yes, I'm recording. Okay. Oh, that's why you were saying you're looking around to see if your sister was there because your sister-in-law's name is Debbie. Okay. And you are not, and you are Deb. Okay. Debes. Yes. So you know, Deb, look, the block came together with all the mishaps with the cutting. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate you. All right, I'm just going to sew this last seam, press it, and then I think I'll be done for the day. Okay. 1969. Deb says, I haven't been called Debbie since before 1969. Nikki B says, people want to call me Michelle instead of Nicole. Michelle? But I get Michelle so much. I answer to it. Michelle. Even my grandma called me Michelle once. Why? Nikki, is that your middle name? Michelle is really not close to Nikki. So why do they want to call you Michelle? All right, last seam again. And if it's wrong, it's staying. Oops. This machine does not like all the seams. Oh. Hopefully I sewed it correctly this time. Let's see. Is it correct now? Her name is Nicole Marie. No clue. I must have Michelle. That's funny. My daughter's name is Jada Marie. So he called her Jada. Teresa says, my daughter would tell people that said her name wrong, that her name was Daniela with an A, not Danielle. Very nice. All right, final theme. I am going to attempt to open the seams again. Just this one seam, of course. Okay. Oh. Now I know why I don't open seams. It's too much work. All right, I'll be back shortly. Feel free to use the restroom. Twelve and a half. All right, all done. Ta-da! All done. All righty, let's put this down with the others. Hang out with your brothers and sisters. All right, let's read the chat. Pajama Quilters. Kimberly says, I'm Kimberly Marie, popular middle name, yes. Popular too in Jamaica. My sister's middle name is Anne Marie. So, yeah. Are you Catholic too, Kim? Well, I'm not Catholic. But Marie is a popular middle name in Jamaica. So, no, it just passed down through the family, yes. Deb says, I taught her to tell people her name is Abby, not Abigail. And my friend's name is Abby, my friend's daughter's name. Her is Abby Marie. And I have another friend, she's Rosemary. Her daughter's name is something Marie, I can't remember. And then her granddaughter is Jada Marie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sticking with me today. I'm going to end the live here. If you join on the replay and you like what you see, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on. I think I'm going to have to do a few more lives because, as I said, the storage on my phone is out. So thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Kimberly, I will respond to your email very shortly. Have a great night, everyone. Be kind, walk good. Thanks, Teresa.